A powerful aura. Shouts to Aaliyah. She had a very, very, very powerful aura. And I strongly believe that in that scene, she was playing her aura. Yeah, she definitely was. I don't know if she knows that she was, but she was. That character is a part of her aura in essence. The confidence, she's the confidence, the solidness, self-validating, very self-validating. You can see how much somebody validates themselves when they go in a room full of people and they're not looking to accept the people, but they're seeing if they they're not looking to be accepted by the people, but they're looking to see if they accept the people. I'm not thinking about if they like me, I'm thinking about if I like them. And people with a powerful aura who have 100% tapped into that power are no longer looking to be accepted and validated by others, but they are harvesting their power in a way where they are checking people out and checking to see, can this person handle my essence? Can they be around my essence? Are they fit to par to be around the queen or the empress or whatever? And that is the essence that she had in this scene. And I strongly believe that she was playing her aura, meaning physically, she's sweet, she's soft-spoken, she was Aaliyah, but her aura was a big dog. And, based on that clip, that was a big dog. The aura is very powerful. That's actually how people see her, right? Did you see it or did you miss it? If you are spiritually in tuned, you know that Aaliyah was playing her aura in that movie. It's quite scary. It's quite bone-chilling. Her character was her aura. That confidence, the confidence, the mystery, the dominance, the flow, the essence, right? The bravery, the boldness, I don't need you to validate me. I validate myself. Like you could see the way that she was looking at people up and down, checking them out, approving of them in her mind. Can you come around me? Can you handle this energy? Can you be next to me? Like that power. Yeah, she was playing her aura 1,000%. Maybe she knew, maybe she didn't know, but in a spiritual sense, that was her aura. Her character was her aura. And her aura was on a level 1,000. She has very high aura. Now, I meet certain men and women, but I specifically, I see it in men too. I meet people who I feel like have very high aura levels. And sometimes I can feel their aura levels through the phone. Some people have very high aura levels. And before you start saying, oh, well, that's me. I hate to burst your bubble, but not every woman has very high aura levels. Not every woman energetically is like an empress or a priestess or a goddess or queen or whatever titles you guys call it. Not every woman fits that category. I know a lot of women want to, but not everybody has that it factor. She does. And before you feel like, oh, well, what do you mean by that? That it factor can be very dangerous. That aura level is if you're not somebody who's very aligned and smart with street smarts, not saying she wasn't smart. Aaliyah was very smart, but the street smarts and the spiritual discernment and the spiritual intelligence of understanding what you have and how to protect it, she has high aura levels. And that's why it was a group effort to, in my opinion, allegedly sacrifice her and harvest the energy from that sacrifice to use to push their careers ahead, right? So Aaliyah had very high aura levels. That's why a lot of the men in the industry, if they couldn't get access to her, they would try to remove her, because her aura is like white powder. It's very addicting. And when people start to interact with it, they want more and more and more of it. When you're a woman or a man that has high aura levels, you need to know how that aura level affects people and the dangers of it. And if you have a high aura level and then you add beauty on top of it, it's even more lethal. It's even more lethal, not to other people, but to you, because of what other people will do to you because of that aura. Because again, when you have high aura levels, you have to be careful with how much of your essence and aura you allow other people to experience. Because if you give too much, it's going to turn into a situation where you may end up having a stalker, or you may end up having somebody that is trying to feed on you. Some women have high aura levels and they don't realize it. And that's why when they try to leave these marriages or they try to leave these relationships, the guy goes to a pawn shop and decides to remove them from the land of the living, because that man is addicted to you, ma'am. He's addicted to you. That's why you can't get away from him. That's why he's always calling you 15 times every time you leave the house. It's because he's addicted to you. And women who have very, very high aura levels, if you know that you do, or what I'm saying applies to you, if a woman has very high aura levels, sex should be off the table. Unless that guy's a king, and a man who's a king energetically is just like a woman who's a queen or a goddess or an empress energetically. A man who's a king or an emperor or a priest energetically, that is a very powerful man. That is a man with very powerful energy and aura levels. That is a man who's very balanced. That is a man who's very disciplined. He's very structured. He's very in alignment. He's very spiritually in tune. Those are the only type of men that women with high aura levels should be having any type of intercourse with. Because the average Joe is going to become addicted to you in an unhealthy way, and then you're never going to be able to get away from that person. So you don't, I can go on this stuff for days. I can go over this stuff for days. But spiritually speaking, there are some women where, you really got to keep your legs closed. Like, you really got to glue them together, because the minute a guy sleeps with you, something goes off in his mind. It's just he starts acting very strange. Now he doesn't want to leave you alone. If you're a woman with high aura levels, it's almost like they're going to become addicted to you. It's just, you just have to be careful. I'm not going to go too much into that because it's too explicit, but you just have to be very careful. Women who have high aura levels have to be weary of other women, right? Because of how, it'll be a team effort to see, maybe how they can sacrifice you in some way. Sacrifice your reputation. I had this woman, she thinks that I don't know game, right? And that's the thing. A lot of times when you're a Christian, and by the way, I'm a Christian in case you guys didn't know, when you're a Christian, people assume that you don't know anything. And I understand why they would assume that, because a lot of Christians are not aware of the level of spiritual warfare and what they're battling. A lot of Christians don't really know about what a destiny swap is, what a high aura level is, what your essence is, what a siphon is, what a harvest is. Like, a lot of Christians still are not that in tune, even though it's all in the Bible though. That was an example of a siphon, when the woman with the energy of blood grabbed onto God's garment and God felt the power leave his body and he said, "Who touched me?" That was a siphon, right? It just wasn't called that. But a lot of these things are represented in the Bible. It's just many people are just not paying attention. So many people assume that because I'm a Christian, I don't know what's going on. There's this one woman on TikTok. She thinks I don't know what she's doing. Every time she goes on live, I don't follow her, right? We have a similar level of followings on TikTok. I don't follow her. Every time she goes on TikTok live, she tags me in her live, right? Mind you, I don't watch her live. I don't go into her lives. I don't watch her page, nothing. But there was a time I was just scrolling on the For You page, just scrolling. And I saw the notification, I got the notification on my end on my phone from TikTok saying, oh, I'm in her live, or kind of like she tagged me in her live or something like that. And I'm like, oh, wow. You cannot take down control freaks, Jezebels, and Leviathans if you don't have respect and boundaries. Respect and boundaries, part 2. All of us in life have our own individual power. The problem is when you give that away by being a habitual people pleaser. And respect and boundaries, part 2, we will be doing a deeper dive into how to respect yourself and how to also ensure that the people around you are giving you the same respect that you also give yourself. In addition to that, we have Defeat Jezebel and Leviathan on June 29th, following the Respect and Boundaries Part 2. In order to deal with lower level controlling entities, you need to know how to spot them within individuals and know how to navigate them. In other words, Vampires, sociopaths, narcissists all fall under the Jezebel and Leviathan umbrella. In this class, I'm going to teach you how to spot people who have these entities operating in them, how to respond to them, and how to protect yourself from them on a both spiritual and physical level. You guys do not want to miss these master classes. Very, very important.